Hey everyone, it's Lily
and Jade.
And today we're going to be drawing fan art of each other's characters.
Who among us does not love to receive fan art of our characters?
So true! And in our case, since we're both artists, we can simply force each other to draw fan art for our own characters. So in this video, we will basically be choosing two different worlds to draw fan art for, but also creating illustrations of our own characters just to show a little more of their world and the lore.
Now let's get into the drawings.
So, these are the first characters that I picked out to have Jade draw, and these guys are from my zombie apocalypse story. I originally created them like a pretty long time ago, 2018 or 2019 maybe, and you could say their original designs were really ugly. So more recently, around the time when I did this illustration that you see on screen, I redesigned them just to make them a little less hideous and to flesh out their lore a little bit more, because I did not put a lot of thought into it before. I just wanted zombie apocalypse characters because I like the zombie apocalypse. For the lineup, we have in order Jamie, Sunny, Baker, and Aiden, and they are 4 high school boys going into their senior year of high school in the year 2002. And the story actually has a title to it. It's called Early Sunsets, which is a reference to the MCR song Early Sunsets Over Monroeville, which, if you're in the know, is about a zombie apocalypse. So a little bit of the lore behind the zombie apocalypse, starting with the 2 boys in the middle, Sunny and Baker. They are on a school field trip at this like cringy military museum where they're trying to get all the kids to join the military instead of going to college. Yeah, so they're like, this sucks, but they have to go because of school. Meanwhile, Jamie and Aiden are not on the field trip. They're still at school in detention for doing something destructive, I don't know. Breaking a window at the school with a baseball? I don't know. While Sunny and Baker are on the field trip, they begin to hear whisperings from the staff that there's something strange going on further into like the downtown area. Some sort of outbreak? Like what? So instead of sticking it out with their classmates, they're like, no, we're making a break for it. So somehow they escape. I don't know if they steal a car or if there's some good Samaritan working there who's like, you gotta get out of here while you still can. I don't know, something like that. But they make it back to the school and they find their besties who are like not doing whatever they're supposed to be doing in detention. They're just like hanging out, like eating dirt or something. I don't know. But they're like, dude, something bad's going on. Like, we gotta get out of here. But then I imagine that there's a scene that is a ripoff of The Walking Dead where they bomb the city. I love that. Like, I don't want it to be true, but it's just so cool in my mind. So they're like, oh no, and they hide out while they're at the school. I'm thinking like maybe in an underground locker room, because when me and Jade were in high school, there was like this creepy locker room that was underground for some reason. So I think that would be maybe a viable place to hide while there's literal bombs falling from the sky. After the bombs cease and they escape back into the light of day, they head back to where they live and they find that their houses are empty. Their families are gone. So then the crux of the story kind of goes from the fall into the winter time of them managing to survive this apocalypse and trying to find their families again.
For my fan art of Lily's characters, I drew Jamie and Sunny. Lily graciously made me some character sheets and mood boards so I could get a better sense of their characters and their vibes. I chose to do these 2 because I really wanted to depict this sad scene that occurs during the story. Spoiler alert. Aiden ends up getting bitten by a zombie and they have to cut off his foot. But it ends up not working and he slowly decrepitifies. As an act of mercy, Jamie shoots him. Yeah. And Sunny's really upset about this because he believes that they should have tried harder to save him and there was possibly a way they could have saved him. But there wasn't.
There was not.
And this scene takes place after the fact. Jamie is trying to console Sunny on an apartment rooftop. And Sunny is refusing to talk to him because he's upset and he's sad and mad at Jamie. But he will come around because they are best friends. And I did not enjoy drawing this stupid rooftop. It was really hard because I'm used to drawing like nature or cozy rooms, and this was not that. It's winter in the background, as you can see some of the tops of the trees. And it's just after sunset when it has that blue haziness everywhere, which I think is really beautiful. I like drawing these characters. When Lily first created Jamie, I was like, that's my boyfriend. But after this new redesign of Sunny, I'm like, I think I like him a little more.
Anyone remember when Sunny used to be a drug addict? Like, what was that about?
Whoa.
That's not canon anymore. That was from my, like, I don't know, edgy emo phase. If you think this story is dark now, bro, the original one, didn't, like, Jamie eat Aiden's leg? Bro, no.
Alright.
Okay. Can I
Billy's honest reaction. Go.
Oh, wait. It's so cute and it's sad and I'm crying. I gotta zoom in. Enhance. Enhance. Oh my gosh. Look how big Jade's iPad is compared to mine.
Really cool.
Oh, I love them, Jade. And you drew a devious background of a building and like really good shoes. What? Do we say what the scene is? It's a sad scene, guys. It's a sad scene.
Did we say?
I don't know. We haven't said it
We
yet.
said it.
We said it. Okay, you know what's going on here. Oh my gosh, I love it so much, Jade. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, got excited.
Next, we have my characters that I picked for Lily to draw. These characters live in this fantasy world that's kind of like an amalgamation of China, Japan, and Korea. And the main character is Maki, who is this red-haired freak. And it's just like a slice of life kind of tale of him with his friends and them just like chilling and living in their world. And I originally created Maki pretty long ago, and he had no friends, and it was just him. But then I was like, he needs friends. So next I created Yui, who is the character to the right of him. And when I initially created Yui, Lily was like, he freaking looks like Star Wars. So now Lily only calls him Star Wars guy.
Sorry.
But he looks different now. He doesn't look so much like Star Wars, I think.
I guess.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't look like Star Wars anymore.
So from going to right to left, the characters' names, we have Yui, Maki, Hamada, she's like a sheep girly, Sumaru, who's like a demon. They're like a demon. And Iki, who's a little cat beast. And in the background is Jume, who is the fox lady, and she's kind of like the older sister to Maki. And across from her is Chosan, who is crazy movie lady. And I just drew them enjoying some food at a restaurant, some ramen and tea.
So for my fan art of Jade's characters, I decided to draw 3 out of the lineup because there's a lot of people. I didn't want to be drawing all 7. Is there 7? I don't remember. See, Jade doesn't even know. So I decided to draw Hamada, Maki, and Yui all just having fun outside in a lovely summer day. And for visual reference, Jade made me some absolutely beautiful mood boards as well as little mini character sheets, just like I did on the other picture. So I could reference those for their vibe and get a better handle on their designs while I was drawing this. So I really appreciated that. In the front, I drew Hamada because she is my wife. I just love her. Ever since Jade created her, I was like, yes. That is my woman right there.
Oh my goodness.
So I drew her up wading through the water, and she has a water lily that she's putting in her hair because she's cute like that. And then behind her is Maki sitting on the shore, dipping his piggly wigglies into the water. So I did have to draw his toes, but not to be a weirdo, I think his toes turned out kind of nice. But like, sometimes you draw a good foot and it's like a miracle on earth, okay?
So true.
And also an added little character detail about Maki is that he is actually half human, unlike all the other characters in the lineup. He's half human, half kitsune, so I thought that was kind of cool. If you look closely, he has little red details around his eyes that I always thought was makeup in my infinite foolishness, but it's actually just his natural skin. He just has that natural eyeshadow. Yes. And then behind Maki is Yui, who's kind of just like looking on from a distance. Yui's kind of a meanie, just a little bit, not like anything too crazy. I try to kind of give him like a bit of a side eye almost, and he's got a parasol to keep out of the sun because he's really, really pale and he'll get a little sunburn. Yeah. On this one, I kind of struggled with the rendering. I swear I started it and then started over like at least 3 different times. Because originally I was just going to do line art and then paint underneath it, but then I didn't like that. And I was like, oh, but I need it to look good because Jade's going to see it and I need to do her character's justice. But I think I got it to a spot where I ended up liking how it turned out. My favorite in this piece actually turned out to be Yui, which I thought was interesting because I don't care about him. I care about him, but like Hamada, my bae, is right there, and I don't know. She turned out fine, but you know, I wish I did more for her. I also had fun drawing the background here. Usually, I don't like drawing backgrounds, but when it's just a bunch of like various trees, clouds, and like some water, that's what I like to draw. And then I made Jade draw the top of an apartment building. Yuck. Bro, what the heck? Okay, that's it. Jade, are you ready for the reveal?
Yeah.
Okay, it's red guy. Open your eyeballs.
Wait. Aww. She's so beautiful.
I had to draw my favorite front and center. Yes. Kissy. His dogs are out, man. Listen, he's dipping his little footsie in the pool.
He's got a little parasol.
Yeah.
What the freak?
Get the Munchichi out of frame. Munchichi! Okay, next up is my vampire story. Let's go. So these 2 guys, one is a vampire, one is a human. I promise I have girl OCs somewhere around here, but I don't know, like these were just the ones that were speaking to me and I really wanted to see how they would come out when Jade drew them. So like I said, one of them is a vampire, one of them is a human. These characters were created pretty recently. I want to say they're probably some of my most recent, like actually thought out OCs. Because they're only like a few months old, a little baby goo goo gaga. And they came about because for a while back, like a couple months ago, I was interested in the genre of gothic shoujo manga from like the early 2000s. I bought this one from a used bookstore, and I mean the story was like kind of effed up, but I was so like enamored by the art style and just like the general tone of the environment and the characters. And I was like, okay, if I was some lady in the early 2000s and I was gonna make the next hit gothic shoujo manga, what would I make? And the first thing I thought of was vampire yaoi. I really like vampires, so there's also a few elements from like Interview with a Vampire in here, as well as just the manga inspiration. So that's the basis of the characters, and that's why I kind of chose to draw them in sort of like a faux manga spread or manga page layout. It's definitely not very intensive, but I like doing this thing where there's like one close-up that's like more detailed, and then there's like chibi full bodies on the same page, because it's like I don't want to draw a real full body, I want to draw a little chibi, but I also want to draw beautiful sparkling anime eyes. So it's like it's just like the perfect middle ground. So anyway, these characters, the human guy is the one with the black hair, and his name is Basil, and he's like an artist. He's kind of like lost in life. He's just graduated college, or whatever the equivalent of college is in like the 1800s in Europe, maybe an apprenticeship or something like that. But he's in a place that's either like Germany or something, or I've been thinking about maybe fantasy setting, so something Europe adjacent. And he's sort of traveling around the countryside, picking up odd jobs here and there because he doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life. So eventually he ends up in this small town, kind of in the middle of nowhere, where he meets this handsome stranger. Oh my gosh. And then they kiss each other. I don't know.
So for this fan art, I drew another scene that Lily had described. I guess I really love drawing scenes or something. Also, speech bubbles, because they both got speech bubbles. Again, Lily made some character sheets and mood boards for each of the characters for me to reference. The scene that I chose to show here was the vampire guy and Basil's first encounter. It all started when Basil went to a tavern in the countryside, and he was just like sketching people for fun. And then he looked in the corner and saw this beautiful man with long flowing white hair. I wonder who that is. So he starts to draw him very intensely. And then all of a sudden, vampire guy shows up next to him, and he's like, "What the freak?" And Vampire Guy is very enamored by this drawing because he can't see his reflection. So he's always like, wait, I'm like super hot. And in the mirror in the background, you can see how you can't see his organic matter in the mirror, but just like his creepy floating clothes. But Vampire Guy ends up offering Basil a job to come to his lovely estate and draw portraits of him. But Basil thinks he's an egotistical maniac. Which, yeah. But they end up like kissing each other, and after a while, Basil becomes a vampire as well.
Guys, newsflash. Get this. The vampire's name is Lord Ambrose, but he doesn't have a last name. So if you have any awesome vampire-sounding last names, drop them in the comments, because I'm struggling here. And most of the time, we don't even call him by his name. We just call him Vampire Guy. Vampire Guy, red hair guy, purple hair guy. You know how it goes.
Yes. Go. Vampire Yowie, activate.
Oh my gosh. Wait, they're so cute. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Oh. Jade, why do you draw them so good?
What?
You do them so good.
What?
Guys, I love Vampire Yowie. Look, and he's not there, and he has his clothes are flying.
Yeah.
What?
I'm just really smart. So.
Wait, I didn't know you were so smart. Thank you, Jade. It's so beautiful. Oh no, look who wants to say hello.
Uh-oh.
God, we got CL. What am I doing?
Blood warning. Blood warning. Guys, blood warning.
Probably skip the last two illustrations if you're not a fan of blood. You have been warned.
So this story follows two high school girls, Itsuko and Kiki. It all starts in 2004 when Kiki and her family moved to the countryside to take care of her grandmother. And in this town, some strange deaths have been occurring. I don't know what that was about. During Kiki's first day of school, she meets Etsuko, who's very nice and friendly and seems to get along with everyone. Most people at the school are very kind to Kiki, but except for one stinky, loser, freaky, farty, gross boy who is a jerk to her for no reason. Over time, Kiki and Etsuko become closer, but Kiki starts to see that there's something off about Etsuko. One week, Etsuko is absent for a few days from school. Kiki goes to deliver some papers and homework that she had missed to her home. She goes to her home and Etsuko's grandma answers the door and she's like, "You can go give the papers to Etsuko." And she like lets her in Etsuko's room. And Etsuko's not in there at the moment. So Kiki's like, where is she at? So Kiki's like snooping around. She ends up finding something that she probably shouldn't have found. It's like creepy. I don't really actually know what it is yet, but it's either gonna be photos or a diary of some sort. It would be hinting at the fact that Etsuko is responsible for the murders in town. And then Kiki tries to pretend that she never saw anything, but I think Etsuko kind of is on to her with her evil little smile. At one point in the story, when Kiki is on cleaning duty along with evil nasty boy, he ends up like assaulting her in some way and I think like leaving bruise marks or something on her wrists. And Etsuko sees the bruise marks on her wrists later on and is like, "Who the freak did this to you?" She's like, "Oh, stinky boy from school." And she exposes the stinky boy for doing stinky things. But Etsuko is really upset about this and she is like, "Kiki, we should kill him. I think we really also
Hear me out.
hear me out.
Let's go.
Let's go." So she's like, alright. So they end up killing the boy, and that's the freaking dead boy you can see on the flip phone. And their story's dark and scary. I don't know. And they're toxic Yuri.
I love Toxic Yuri. Oh my god, guys, get me on that Toxic Yuri train for real, bro. Anyway, so once again, Jade made beautiful mood boards and character sheets for me to reference when drawing her characters so I could get them perfectly to a T. For this drawing, I wanted to draw the two of them together on a swing set with Kiki sitting on the swing and Etsuko behind her. For the rendering, I ended up doing this sort of like a flash photo, you know, with a bright white light, and it's like in the middle of the night, creepy darkness. Anyway, time for the secret symbolism. It's literally not anything important, but I was just thinking that like Etsuko is the one pushing Kiki on the swing, as in she's pushing her to do these horrible things under a guise of kind of almost like childlike innocence of the playground. Like, I don't know. So that was just my infinite genius. Just kidding. More like Jade's infinite genius because she made the characters in the first place. So I drew Etsuko with her creepy little smile. She's always smiling. That's just like her thing. She's always smiling. And I love these character designs. I feel like they're simple, but like in a really strong way. You know what I mean? Like they're just wearing the school uniforms, but something about them just like hits different. I don't know. I love Etsuko's red glasses. I think that's a really cute feature. And I had fun rendering this one. I went for a more like chunky painterly style. Like, did I do the same style in like any of these drawings? What is going on with me? I don't know, but at the end, I added a little, like, photo lighting error over Etsuko's face, where it's kind of, like, obscuring her a little bit from the viewer, so I thought that was a fun detail.
I really like this drawing.
Thanks, Jade! I just, like, I need to see them in, like, a freaky, well, not, like, freaky, but, like, a effed up, like, movie. Like, they seem like they'd come from, like, an anime movie that you'd watch and be like, oh my, like, what was that? You think about it forever, like kind of like Perfect Blue. Like I watched Perfect Blue and I like wasn't the same ever again. I'm still not the same. Do you remember that creepy guy?
Oh, yeah.
But this would be different because this is Toxic Yuri. Yes. Okay. Okay, open them. Toxic Yuri alert. Why someone change it back?
Toxic Yuri.
Guys, Munchichi loves
Munchichi.
Toxic Yuri. You heard it here first. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, this is not a video about Munchichis.
Wait. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
And they're on a swing.
Yeah, they're on like a swing set. And it's like a photo with like the lighting effect on the evil one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And that was all the drawings.
Yay! I think that this little experiment was really fun, and I recommend to anyone who is an artist and maybe has other friends with OCs to go out and draw each other's OCs.
Do it now!
Go now, quickly! And also, if you're wondering, man, where's my anime style challenge that we promised in the last video? Do not fear, it is the next video on the roster, so be on the lookout for that. And that's about everything here. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.